Wait, don't scroll. Think about the last time someone upset you. Maybe it was a text message, 4 words, no emoji, nothing obviously rude, and somehow your entire mood changed. Your chest tightened, your thoughts speed up. Suddenly, you weren't reacting to a message anymore. You were reacting to a feeling. And here's the unsettling question most people never ask. What if that feeling wasn't caused by what just happened? What if your brain created it before you understood why? Because in the next few minutes, you are going to discover why some emotions disappear the moment life gets quieter, and why others seem to follow you everywhere you go. And once you see it, you will never ask, "What's wrong with me?" in quite the same way again. Right now, you are probably safe. No one's yelling at you. No one's chasing you. No immediate danger. So, why does anxiety sometimes show up anyway? Why can silence feel heavy? Why can an ordinary Tuesday suddenly feel overwhelming? For decades, psychology taught us a simple story: emotion over here, logic over there. Reason fighting feels inside your head. Clean, simple, easy to understand. But human beings aren't that simple. Today's neuroscience points a much more fascinating picture. Researchers like Dr. Lisa Feldman Barrett have proposed that emotions aren't merely things that happen to us. They are things our brains actively construct. Not after the moment, during it. Your brain is constantly making predictions about what's happening inside your body and around you, using your memories, your past experiences, and the information it has available in that moment. Which means something extraordinary is happening right now. Before you consciously understand how you feel, your brain is already making its best guess. Let me make this real. Imagine your phone lights up. Someone you have been waiting to hear from finally replies. 3 words. Okay, sounds good. That's it. No simile face. No exclamation point. Nothing else. One person reads it and smiles. And other spends the time 3 hours wondering if they are being rejected. Same message. Completely different emotional experience. Why? Because we don't experience reality exactly as it is. We experience reality through prediction. Your brain doesn't simply record the world like a camera. It's more like an editor. It's constantly asking, "What is this? Have I seen something like this before? What should I feel right now?" And sometimes it gets remarkably close. Sometimes it gets it wrong. The scary part isn't that your brain makes predictions. The scary part is that it's so good at making them that you rarely notice it's happening at all. Now think about something else. Have you ever noticed how anxiety feels louder when you are exhausted? How small inconveniences suddenly feel enormous when you haven't slept? How an ordinary conversation can feel strangely personal when you have been stressed for weeks? That's not character flaw, it's biology. Lisa Feldman Barrett uses the term body budget to describe how your brain manages your body sources. Things like sleep, energy, stress, and recovery. When that budget starts running low, something interesting happens. The world doesn't necessarily become more dangerous. It simply starts feeling that way. The email sounds colder. The silence feels heavier. The problem feels bigger. Reality hasn't changed. Your predictions have. And suddenly, that changes the question completely. Maybe the question isn't, "Why am I so emotional?" Maybe it's, "What information is my brain working with right now?" But there's another piece of this story that's even more fascinating: memory. Your brain lives in the present, but it learns from the past. Every difficult conversation, every disappointment, every success, every moment you have survived becomes data for future predictions. Which means something you are not reacting to what's happening. You are reacting to what happened years ago. A facial expression reminds you of someone else. A tone of voice feels strangely familiar. Your brain recognizes the pattern long before you are consciously aware of it. And in milliseconds, it begins preparing you for what it thinks comes next. Protection, not perfection. Your brain isn't trying to make you happy. It's trying to keep you alive. Sometimes those are the same thing. Sometimes they aren't. And then there's language, one of the most overlooked psychological tools we have. Think about how often we say, I feel bad. But bad isn't an emotion, it's a category. Are you disappointed, frustrated, impressed, lonely, overwhelmed, restless? Psychological research has found that people who can describe their emotional experiences with great precision often regulate those experiences more effectively. Because naming something changes how we understand it. The difference between saying I am anxious and I am mentally exhausted can completely change what happens next. One requires courage, the other requires sleep. Same feeling, different prediction, different solution. So let me ask you something. How many years have you spent asking yourself, why am I like this? It's one of the most painful questions we ask ourselves, and it's usually the wrong one because it assumes something inside you is broken. There's a better question, a smaller question, a more useful question. Ask yourself this instead. What is my brain trying to predict right now? Note what is wrong with me. But what is my brain seeing that I am not noticing? Am I tired? Am I overwhelmed? Am I remembering something old? Am I missing information? Or am I treating a prediction as if it's a certainty? Because emotions can feel permanent when they are actually changing from moment to moment. They are shaped by memory, energy, experience, language, prediction. That doesn't make them fake, it makes them human. So here's something I want you to try this week. The next time your chest tightens, don't argue with yourself. Don't shame yourself. And don't immediately assume something is terribly wrong. Pause and ask one simple question. What is my brain predicting right now? You might still be anxious. You might still be upset. But now you are curious instead of afraid. And curiosity changes everything. Because sometimes what feels like danger is simply a tired brain trying its best to protect you. And that realization might be the beginning of treating yourself with a little more understanding. Not because you are weak, not because you are broken, but because you are human.